So hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Steve's Allotment. This is going to be the first episode that I've filmed this year. It's now the start of February. There was an episode that I put up in January, but that was filmed at the end of December. So this is the first time that I've filmed this year. Reasons for that, it's just been really busy. I've had uni work, I've had other bits and bobs on the plate as well. So what I thought I'd do is a quick update on things that have happened since last year. So the big one of that is we've had Christmas, and with Christmas I got a few bits and bobs for the allotment from friends and family. So first couple of bits that I thought I'd do is show you those. So the first one that I got was from my in-laws. It's this rather interesting looking tool. This is, as usual, a wolf garden tool. This one fits onto all their handles, as with most of the tools I've got from them. And this is it's a ridger, so the idea is that you can bring this through the ground, it ploughs up into ridges, you can pop your potatoes in there. So this will be really interesting to try and use, and I'll be filming that probably in a month or so. Other present that I got from my in-laws as well is I got two of these rather nice looking cherry bushes. Now these are new cherry bush pothos. They are a bush type cherry plant. And allegedly grow 5 kilos of cherries per plant. I've got two of those, so we should be looking at 10 kilos of cherries later on in the year. And I'm going to have to work out what to do with 10 kilos of the cherries. Other things I got for Christmas, I got a voucher for Wyvale Garden Centres from my mum and dad. And with that, I have, surprise surprise, bought a nice big wolf garden tool. So, this rather dangerous looking tool is their Saw Pro 370 power cut, which is for pruning my trees. They do two versions of this saw. They do the normal version, which is a few pounds cheaper, or the Pro version, which has a little blade here as well, and a stopper at the top so that it keeps you on the branch as you're sawing. Again, fits onto their tool, so I can use it on a long handle, so I don't have to climb up a ladder to saw my tree. And I bought a few other little bits and bobs with that voucher as well. The other thing that I have got is I got Amazon vouchers from grandparents, and I've been saving those up throughout the year because I tend to get them for birthdays, Christmas, that sort of thing. So I've been saving them up since probably about Christmas last year. And what I bought with those is a video camera, which I'm filming myself on now. So hopefully the quality will be a little bit better of the videos in future. And we're not going to get that weird portrait landscape change between different parts of the video, because it'll all be filmed in the same way, and I don't have to worry about which way I'm holding my phone up with, as I have done in the past. So what I thought I'd do today is very wet down the allotment, and it's still, I think there's bits of ice and stuff around still, so it's not going to be particularly useful going down there. What I thought I'd do is have a look at some compost. I bought some new compost the other day, and I thought we'd have a little look through that, give it a sieve and see if there's any large bits in there. The compost that I've chosen is Clover multi-purpose compost. I saw this on Muddy Boots' channel, and it seems like in the past it's been really good compost. They had a few issues with it last year, but actually two reps went to see Muddy Boots and explained to him everything that had gone wrong and how they've improved the compost. So I want to have a look and see how it is this year. It sounds like it did improve at the end of last year, but we'll give this one a go, give it a sieve and see how it looks. And then what I'll probably do as well is I've got some summer bulbs, spring bulbs even, that I'm going to put into module trays because I'm not quite ready to put them down the allotment. I'm not sure how they'll do in module trays. I'll assume they'll grow, but I'm not sure how well they'll transplant after that. So we'll have to wait and see. So I've spent the last 15-20 minutes sieving that compost, and it's been a bit of a mixed bag, to be honest. The quality of the compost is really good. It smells absolutely lovely. The only downside is after filling up a crate, these are all the bits that are too big to go through the sieve. Now most of it is this kind of fibrous material. It is all moss. There's no plastic in here. There's no bits of string or anything like that. It is purely just bits of moss that haven't composted down yet. There's the odd tiny little stick as well, and a lot of these lumps are just tightly compacted compost, which I'm not using a particularly good sieve. If I was using one of the I think they're made by Clark, ones where you put it in and turn a big handle and it grinds it all up, I think most of this would go through there perfectly. Obviously it's not ideal for the seed growing compost, which is what I want to use it for. But at the end of the day, it is a multi-purpose compost. That would be absolutely fine putting on your garden. And these bits that I've got, I'm just going to stick in my compost bin. But if I tilt you down, you can see this is what we're left with after sieving. It's lovely stuff, and hopefully it should be really, really good when I come to sow all my seeds and my bulbs. Oh, it smells lovely. So what I'm going to do with this compost now, it's sieved nicely, ready for seeds, but what I'm going to do is add a few little bits into it just to make it a little bit better for seed sowing. So the first thing I'm going to put in is some 6X fertiliser. This I actually got really, really cheap the other day from Yvale. It's supposed to be £15 for a 15 kilo bag. It is supposed to be 6 to 8 times stronger than farmyard manure. It's supposed to be £15 a bag. They had an offer on 2 for 20 quid, and I happen to have a £4 voucher as well if I spent 20 quid. So I got 30 kilos worth for 16 quid, which was a bargain. So I'm going to just add some of this 6X into my mix. And then as well as that, I'm going to add some vermiculite. This vermiculite just kind of helps retain a bit of moisture and also allows there to be some air pockets in there as well. So I'm just going to pour a generous helping of that into the mix. We'll see how that does in there. We'll give it a bit of a mix up, and we might add some more in a moment depending on how it looks. You can buy seed sowing compost with the vermiculite already in, but what I have found is with the seed sowing compost with the vermiculite in, it can be quite expensive, whereas actually buying the vermiculite and mixing it in yourself does make it a bit cheaper. Just really get in there and mix it all around. I think I'm just going to add a little bit more as well. I think this vermiculite you can buy from garden centres. I think it's usually about £8 a bag. But Poundland, as part of their gardening range that they do, I think it's not quite as large a bag as you get in the garden centres, but you can buy bags of vermiculite in there as well, which is a bit cheaper. So I'm going to be keeping my eye out for when that comes out in Poundland. There we go. And when you look in here, you can probably see the little white specks throughout here, and that is the vermiculite. So that is now ready to start planting with. So what I thought I'd do is, now we've got all of the seed compost sorted, I would plant some bulbs. Now I got a box from Thompson Morgan probably about a month ago now actually. This contained a 200 spring bulb collection. This was a cheap deal I got on there. If I spent over a certain amount, you got this for I think £3 or £4, something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, it's quite a selection I got in there. So this is the collection. In here we've got 12 Tulips Rainbow Mixture, 50 Allium Molly, 20 Muscari Blue Spike, 50 Allium Neapolitanum, 6 Oxalis, 50 Allium Sphaerocephalon and 12 daffodils. So as well as those, what I also got was a pack of 25 daffodil Jetfire. I think these were again a couple of quid. And I've got one Peonia Candy Stripe, which I'm going to pot into a separate pot on its own, not in the modules. The rest of them I'm going to put into modules because I don't know where I'm going to plant them yet, but I want to get them off started now so that they're ready to plant out later on. I don't know how well they're going to do, potted and then moved elsewhere, but it's better than them going to waste. So I may be moving house in a month or so, so there's the potential that they're going to go down there. They may go down the allotment, I haven't really decided yet. So let's get planting. So I've got these large modules. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 cell module trays. These are quite large, so hopefully it'll give them a bit of a chance to grow. So to start with, I'm just going to put some of the seed sow and compost in. Try and spread it around evenly if I can. And I think what I'll put in first is some of the Jetfire daffodils. I'm going to give them a quick little check over before I put them in, just to make sure there's no mouldy ones at all. As you can see, they are already starting to sprout in the bag. And those are going to go outside in an unheated greenhouse, and hopefully they should start sprouting very soon. So I'm going to get on with potting up the rest of these. I've got a lot of bulbs to pot. I don't think you want to watch me pot another 200 bulbs. But I'm just going to carry on like that, and I'll be back with you after I've done all that. So I've been on planting my 200 plus bulbs, and last thing that I remembered that I need to plant is when I was out yesterday, I managed to get these onion sets here. They're supposed to be winter onion sets, which is why they're reduced to 50p. They've all started sprouting in the bag already, but I thought it'd be worthwhile 50p getting them, planting them in, giving them a go, and if they grow well, then they can be my my backup onions, because I've got a lot of onions planted already. How well they're doing, I don't really know. So we'll give these a plant and see how we do. So it's always really important with your onions anyway to check that there's no mouldy ones or soft ones, but this is even more important when you're using bulbs that have been in a packet for a long time. And I found this with my allium bulbs from earlier. As you can probably see at this end, these are all the ones that have gone a bit soft and gammy. Some of these have actually sprouted already, as you can see. Just give them all a little bit of a squeeze. Well, that one's empty. Actually, these seem to have fared fairly well, given that they've been in that packet for a good few months. That was a bit soft. It's always better, if you're in doubt, to just get rid. So last thing you want is to have one in there that's soft and mouldy, is then going to ruin all of your onions rather than just the one or two that you're going to get rid of anyway. So actually, for the sake of 50p, we've done quite well. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that haven't been any good. So I'm going to get on at sticking these in. Those are the 50 red winter onion sets. Apparently give good yields, store well, and it's supposed to be planted in the autumn for an early harvest. Obviously they're not planted in the autumn, but we'll wait and see what happens. So the next thing that I thought I would plant is some peas. I want to get in nice and early so I can do successional sowing all throughout the year. So what I've done with this is, again, shamelessly copying Muddy Boots. I've got some of this. This is just normal guttering. I bought a 2 metre length of this. It was about £3–4, something like that. And I've put some end stops on the end of it as well to make like a little trough. And then what I've done is I just drilled some holes down the middle of this just to allow some water out so I don't overwater them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some kitchen paper on the inside of these just to stop the dirt falling through the holes. It will let the moisture through. And then I'm going to put some soil in, some compost, put the peas in, and then cover them up, put them in the greenhouse. So the peas that I've gone for, to start with, again copying Muddy Boots, are these Kelvedon Wonder Earlies. They're supposed to be planted from March, I think it is. Yeah, from March. But I'm going to keep them in the greenhouse probably for a good month or so that I've got some grown ready to put out in March. So these peas do come dried. So they come as these tiny little crinkly things. So what I did last night before I went to bed is I soaked some in some water. As you can see, they've puffed right up into big juicy peas. Now these should germinate better like this, or certainly quicker, but we'll see. So I'm just going to line those troughs with some kitchen paper and then put the peas in, which I'll show you in a second. Right, so as you can see, I've now got a layer of kitchen roll, layer of that potting soil that we made up earlier, and all I'm going to do with the peas is just sprinkle them along. There we go, that's 100 or so peas planted in the space of a few minutes and ready to go out in the greenhouse.